See through the veil, pop the illusion, truth in the rhythm, break the confusion. Cameras flash, but the script ain't true. Pyramid wisdom, I see right through. Stage lights blinding, but I don't freeze. I walk with the ancients, I move with ease. Chains of deception, they try to bind, but I crack the code in the hieroglyph signs. Baseline heavy, truth in my chest. I rise like the Nile, I don't settle for less. Don't get hypnotized, don't fall for the show. Eyes wide open, now I know. Pop the illusion, break the spell. Truth in the rhythm, I know it well. Pop the illusion, don't be deceived. Eyes wide open, now I believe. Pharaoh fire in the beat I ride. Ancient codes in the flow collide. Gold on the throne, but the mask is fake. I see through the lies, I won't take the bait. Desert winds whisper secrets untold. I spit liberation, my voice is bold. Bass hits deep like a tempo drum. Illusion shattered, the truth is come. The world stage is a mask. Actors play their part, but I see beyond the cast. I guard my heart. Pop the illusion, break the spell. Truth in the rhythm, I know it will. Pop the illusion, don't be deceived. Eyes wide open, now I believe. Illusion, illusion, illusion.
Welcome to the War Room. Glad to have everybody here. How's everybody doing tonight or today, whenever you're watching?
We're doing well from Idaho.
Idaho.
We're cold though. We're getting ready to get some snow.
Oh man, I wouldn't be saying that on air.
Man, I'm just telling you how it is.
Don't blow up your boat, Mike. Durandal.
That thing's all secured and locked up.
All those special panels in place. That's fantastic on purpose is the answer to your question, Sheepdog. It is a challenge when we've got as much snow on the ground as we have, but all my chickens are good. I got a dozen eggs today, even though we are barely above freezing for a couple of days in a row. So so far so good. All my animals are healthy, and I did lose one girl the other day. It looks like she just got too cold and didn't make it. But culling of the herd, so to speak, or the flock. But no, things are good. Looking forward to getting some help tomorrow. I got one of my 20-somethings coming up here to the property, and we're going to try and get a bunch of wood cut, even though there's a bunch of snow on the ground, which should be interesting. But so yes, things are good. I'm looking forward to the end of the rest of this week. Should be exciting.
Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. If you saw my Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers post, and I just want to say hello to everybody and say hi to my 3 fans.
Is one of those fans a ceiling fan?
You got an OnlyFans meeting?
That's 4 now. I want to say hi to 4 now then.
Okay.
That's the bathroom fan? Is that the one you just turned on? The bathroom fan's a very important fan.
How'd you know I have a ceiling fan in the restroom? Hey, so if the show descends, there's a flotation device. You can use it, if the show descends and you kiss your ass goodbye. I didn't say that right, but you know what I'm talking about. Because when we left the show the other day, I said, you know, kiss your ass goodbye, but there's a flotation device. So if the show descends, you know, you can use that device as a flotation device when we're done.
Yeah, I just brought waders. I don't go that deep.
Well, if Mike was with us, he'd say on the plane, get your peanuts, get your peanuts.
What about your hot dogs? Get your hot dogs. She Dog, how you guys doing there in your neck of the woods? How's the weather?
Man, it is freezing here, dude. Freezing balls. 48 degrees, 50 degrees, you know.
Well, you know, if you get bored, you can always make some of those balls at that video that you showed a couple of months ago. That might keep you warm.
Oh, yeah. I just use those hand warmers.
Hey, Sheepdog, what's freezing
Yep.
to you? What's freezing?
I don't know. Freezing is 30 degrees, 31 degrees.
That's freezing. That's cold.
It's 14 here with wind.
What is it, 32? I don't know.
We got all the way to 6 last night, and we got above 32 for maybe an hour today. So cold.
I went to boot camp in the Great Lakes in January 2002. Freezing ass cold. Chicago, Illinois, water coming off the lake. They didn't tell us how cold it was. They only told us how much to put on. And if it was everything, then it was really cold.
That's cold.
Yeah, the Great Lakes in the winter.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
Man, it's 57 degrees here. Whew.
Did y'all see
I
those new military outfits? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gandalf.
I know it's cold when I've got to go out in the middle of the night and go break ice off the top of watering devices because it's my warmers can't even keep up. So I'm hoping we don't get 3 months of this level of cold. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sheepo.
No, I was going to show you those new uniforms. They're camouflage. They almost cloak the troops whenever they put it on. They're like, they make the troops invisible. This material. I
Man, I wonder if I can get my car painted like that.
I think it's. Has anybody seen this one?
No matter how many different camouflage patterns they tried, the enemies were still always able to see them. To solve this issue, the government came up with a new special camouflage pattern called Epstein List. And sneak through completely undetected.
Have you seen that one?
Oh, that is actually very funny.
Did you see those NPCs running around in the background?
I was too busy trying to focus on the Epstein List camo.
That's just a joke. Yeah, I
And
know.
that's awesome. We need some of that out here in Idaho.
Here's another one. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. But this is pretty interesting. I think a redneck's driving that. I'm telling you, when a redneck got a Tesla, this is what happens.
Crazy thing is, that's a European tag. That's a European license plate.
That thing's, look at some stat coming out that thing like an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, buddy.
I love it. That's fantastic.
No, do you know who's driving that? That's Nancy Pelosi going to a climate change meeting.
Ka-cha-ching.
Oh.
We need some sound effects now.
Well, she needs a breathalyzer. They need to put a breathalyzer on that choker.
This little device right here, I just take a little blow, and it tells me when it's time for a little top up. Because when I first got this, I used to ride it around 0.20, which is fucking wasted, 24/7. But now I leave it at 0.12, which is perfect. It's right in the fucking slot, just past the click. That wonderful moment, just like Julian. I'm sober enough to know what I'm doing, and I'm drunk enough to really enjoy doing it. Oh, look at that. 0.10. Time for a little drinky poo. Cheers, genitals. What's my secret? This little device right here.
Man, Sheepdog, you gave me a great idea. I know when I'm buying all the men on my softball team.
There you go.
You're buying
they-
them zero, nada,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, before they bat.
That's right. Yeah, they got to take a little puff before they
Well-
bat. Yeah.
Well, how old are they? What age range? 20, 30 years
Oh,
old?
dude, this is from mid-20s up to 60.
Oh, well, the ones that are 50 and 60, you got to watch out for. They can end up in the hospital. These
That's
20-year-olds
right.
These 20
Why the
These
ambulance
20-year-olds
do-
well, 20-year-olds recover pretty quick. Right?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I was seeing some pretty ones that were dealing pretty rough when we were down in Bama.
So you got to watch them in the 50s, the morning after. This is what it feels like after you've been drinking all night, 50 years old. It affects the body differently.
Mm.
It's a joke. That's what it feels like.
You just need a little more, a longer nap at lunch. That's the
Yep.
key, because you still have to get up and do your 4 o'clock chores.
Breath left.
Everybody's got to eat.
Who said technology can't?
Oh yeah.
All right, so we have y'all seen the South Park roasting of Pete Hegseth?
No, I haven't.
Do y'all mind seeing it? It ain't gonna offend anybody, is it? We can laugh, right?
It takes
Yes.
a lot to offend me, bro.
All right, let's take a look. I don't normally watch this, but I thought this was pretty funny. It comes off of the podcast vibe, right? Like he's doing it for clicks and views.
That's right.
Peter Thiel, I guess they're trying to break out of prison. I don't know.
Hey, real quick, Sheepdog, are you on YouTube? I can't find it because I usually put that on the TV because it doesn't lag, but I can't see it on YouTube. Are you on there right now?
Oh, I don't know. Were we on YouTube?
Yeah, it was. And Linda just laughed.
It what?
Yeah, it was when I went around and shared it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll find it.
Here is let me get to this real quick. Where are we at? Yeah, we're live. So Iraq Central Bank, CBI, is gearing up to introduce a digital dinar, marking a significant shift toward digital currency management. Right. So according to a report from the is that IQTISAD Tassad on March 17th, this initiative is part of the country's broader efforts to modernize its financial system and reduce the reliance on traditional paper currency, right? So this is bringing a Iraqi bank into the U.S. What could happen to? Okay, what could happen if our IQD banknotes once Iraq goes digital, right? So it's talking about that. Here, I'm gonna read a few key points here. Let me pull it up real quick off of my from my notes here. There we go. Let me go back to here. I highlighted a few things just to read off. Do you want me to? This is all. All right, let me go to this. Give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm trying to read that. Give me a second. Here we go. There we go. So Iraq Central Bank, this right here, which is the CBI, which is what I just read, is gearing up to introduce a digital dinar, marking a significant shift toward digital currency management. According to a report on March 17th, this initiative is part of the country's broader efforts to modernize its financial system and reduce reliance on traditional paper currency. The digital dinar will function as an official electronic currency issued by the CBI, holding the same value as physical cash but traded exclusively through digital wallets and authorized financial platforms. So it's going all digital, and it's backed by the central bank. So the CBI governor is it Ali Alak, has emphasized that Iraq's financial and banking systems are undergoing fundamental transformations, stating that the paper currencies will decline, making way for digital payments issued by central banks. He confirmed that the bank is actively working toward launching its own digital currency, aligning with trends seen in other central banks worldwide. Right. So Mustafa Mohammed, financial and banking affairs advisor to the prime minister and former central bank deputy governor, described the digital dinar as part of a global shift in payment systems. He explained that the digital currency will carry the same legal status as physical money, but will be embedded with digital rights, ensuring seamless transactions under the monetary authority's supervision. One of the most significant economic impacts of the shift will be on exchange rates. So Mohammed predicts that the digital dinar will make the official exchange rate the only rate recognized, effectively eliminating the parallel market, which has long operated outside of government oversight. With transactions moving to a controlled digital space, it will become nearly impossible to maintain a secondary, unofficial exchange market. Unlike Bitcoin and other decentralized cryptocurrencies that derive value from supply and demand, digital currencies, such as the digital dollar, digital dirham, and soon the digital dinar, are officially issued and regulated by central banks, ensuring greater stability. Uh, Ali Hashami reassured that Iraq's digital dinar will be fully backed by the central bank. Like traditional currency, it will maintain a stable value, but be available only in electronic form through banking wallets and accounts. So this shift will reduce the cash transactions and promote financial inclusions, encouraging more Iraqis to engage with the formal banking system. A major economic advantage of this transition is its potential to eliminate cash hoarding. Highlighted cash hoarding. A widespread issue in Iraq, many citizens keep large sums of money outside the banking system due to distrust in financial institutions. This limits the circulation of funds and slows economic growth. By shifting toward a digital monetary system, the government aims to restore confidence in banks and increase liquidity and stimulate economic activity. So the transition from physical to digital, since the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, plans to gradually phase out paper currency, foreigners holding the IQD banknotes may eventually need to convert them into the new digital format. So if Iraq fully transitions to a digital dinar, then the paper notes could become obsolete over time, right? But however, during the transition period, physical dinars will likely remain valid until a former deadline is set. Two, exchange and conversion challenges. Foreign holders of physical dinars may find it more difficult to exchange their IQD banknotes, especially if Iraq implements strict controls on the conversion process, right? So the central bank may require foreign investors or individuals to open an account, all right, within Iraq's banking system or use an approved financial institution to convert their banknotes into digital form. For foreign accessibility to the digital dinar, the big question is whether non-residents will be able to own and trade digital dinars freely. Iraq take one or two approaches: open access. We have foreigners may be able to open digital dinar accounts via authorized international banks or Iraqi financial institutions. So restricted access. Iraq may limit digital dinar ownership to Iraqi residents or businesses operating within Iraq, making it difficult for outsiders to hold or trade IQD. So this is 4. Since Iraq is still in the early stages, though, of launching its digital currency, the spec um this specifies of the species. Was that yes? Species
Specifics.
foreign. Thank you. The specifics of foreign ownership and accessibility remain uncertain. Right. So 5, you have future exchange and legal implications. If Iraq phases out paper dinars completely, then foreigners holding physical IQD, they may need to exchange them within a set time frame, right, before they become worthless or campfire. If exchange restrictions are imposed, it may limit liquidity for foreigners trying to sell their IQD. All right. So that's where we're at on that.
Well, the dinar gurus are going to have a field day with this one. Now that means it's going to happen Friday, Saturday, or Monday. You know what I'm saying? If I could be funny, because and I know what they're going to do now. They're going to pump everybody up, and it's not going to happen probably.
Yeah, well, they're talking about moving the banks here, right? You got the list or a bank here?
So this is an old tactic. If you look at like after World War II, the German banknotes were devalued because Germany was being brought back into the world economic, the IMF, what became the IMF, the International Money. So there's a bunch of offshore dollars, was what this is called. That's when your currency is outside of your national borders, but yet it's linked by international banking guidelines. So I saw a release from Daddy Trump that said that there need to be some return on investment in the Middle East. So and this same thing drops pretty simultaneously. So what will happen is a currency run, my opinion, is a currency run because all these people that have been sitting on these IQDs, the dinar, that's worth a thousandth of a cent or whatever it is, 0.0032 has been the number for a long time. A third of a penny an IQD. That when those become a 1-to-1, that there's going to be a huge cash out. So this is a chain pull or a rug pull for all the people, mostly patriots, who have been holding these dollars, and it is an excellent way to force people that have been hesitant to get involved in the digital ID universe, because I'm positive that technical wallet that is going to require a bunch of, who are you, where are you, where's your money, which sets up for taxation. So the U.S. also has this problem. A third of all of our currency is held outside the nation, mostly by China. So that this repatriation of dollars within the national borders is could very well be sequestered, so that you have to go to Iraq in order to trade in your dinar. Island, once this happens, at the dawning of a realization that that's not worth the paper it's printed on, very well could be coming at us. That's an interesting story, Sheepdog.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll share that out. Let's see what else we got
Hey,
here.
real quick. Hey, Gandalf, what's happening? Hey, if I heard you correctly, are you saying that they could revalue 1-to-1, but you have to go to Iraq to cash in? Is that what I heard?
You broke up, cheating. Say that again.
I just wanted to get something straight for myself for the record. Did you say that it's possible that the dinar would be 1-to-1 after this, but you'd have to go to Iraq to exchange? Is that what I heard?
I can see that coming as a possibility, because one of the issues that you have when you attempt to resolve your currency to become part of the International Monetary Fund's overnight rate and the ability to make cross-border transactions is that you disallow all of the dollars that are what are called offshore portions of your currency stack. So once that gets over about 25 or 30%, the traditional run is that you put a hard border wall up and say, well, you have to come in the country and repatriate those dollars. It's called revenue patriation, is this IMF strategy, and it's the way that they keep their fiat empire running. So I would not sure if I'd take the over or the under on that happening. And if it does happen, it'll happen in the last portion of the devaluation or the disassociation of those currency markers, otherwise known as IQD, within the greater financial system. So I'm not saying I've heard that. I'm saying I can see that coming. This has happened in many times over the last 100 years of the fiat empire that is the Fed and the IMF. They take the offshore dollars and they just say, okay, we're done with those. If you don't bring them in the country, you can't put them in a bank. And it has to be in an Iraqi bank in Iraq. And that has happened before. This happened with Gaddafi. This happened with Germany. So, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Kuwait. Yeah, it's funny. Hey, before Mickey typed her road trip, I was going to say, pack a suitcase, Mickey. We're going to Iraq.
I am too tall and too white to go to Iraq. I'm a big target.
You got to work on that tan.
Even if he was tan, Sheepdog, he'd still stand out like a sore thumb.
You could always put on one of those, what the women wear and identify as a woman and cover your face.
Oh, hell.
Oh, here we go.
Shit. This is the shaman ritual. What are you willing to do for it?
That's right. How far are you willing to go?
I don't fly, so I don't know about all that. So, especially to Iraq, but.
Last time, well, I take a ship. Last time I went, it was an aircraft carrier.
You don't plan on going back anytime, do you, Sheepdog?
No, Dubai is beautiful. Bahrain, the people are awesome. It's kind of weird when you're in that area and they tell you that that's your enemy over there, but then when you go out in town, it's not the case.
Yeah.
You're like, as long as you got money, they're willing to sell you anything. They had all kinds of badass stores over there. It's a culture shock. But it makes you question everything. Why are we put in fear, but yet we can pull into these countries and just it's like nothing, right? Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Anyway,
I'm gonna ride one of Gandalf's donkeys over there so I can blend in. If I can just be funny.
Mules, not donkeys. They're only half-assed.
Right.
Mules, not donkeys.
yeah, yeah, mule. I traded it. When I get there, I'll exchange it in for a camel.
Yeah, I rode a camel and over there. It's instead of stale mail, it's camel mail.
I would, I would much rather just take my mules. You know, I might get a little respect, but no, I'm far too. I stand up like a sore thumb in most places anyway. I'm too tall and I'm too loud. But I have no desire. I can't ride a mule there. I don't want to go there. I can't drive my horse trailer there. So no, thank you.
They'd probably take it anyway. You know, if you travel with over $10,000, they'll take it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Well, yes, but what you would be able to do cheating is that since it's a digital currency, once you had qualified within the digital oversight, then that because this is all what digital ID is pushing us towards, is that you have a supposition of control, but you are under the control of the system, and a completely digital system is the last straw. If we lose that battle, we have not won this thing by a long shot.
But let's just say this will be interesting to see how it plays out. That'd be interesting to see.
That ain't no lie.
I'm sitting on 12 tons of hay, so I'm good. My favorite
Oh.
stored value is hay.
Well, then
Wait,
let me
wait.
give it a Yo Mike thing. Hey, hey, hey.
I am tired. The American people are the biggest slaves of any citizenship in the entire world. And let me tell you why. Because the American people are the only people that are told, go work super hard, go take a massive amount of your life, and we're going to take at least half your money. All right? And then when we take half your money, we're going to send it overseas, or we're going to mismanage it, or we're going to steal it, or we're going to funnel it back into our political contributions, or we're going to send it over here for quote unquote aid. Okay, where's our motherfucking aid? Where's our aid from Kuwait or any of these other rich countries to fix our homeless problem? Do you ever notice that none of the other citizens on the planet work so that we can have a better here in America? It's always the other way around. Why the fuck are we, the citizens of the United States of America, financing the well-being of every other fucking country in this planet, okay? Until people wake up to that and say no more, shit's gonna continue. This land of the free, that's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke, dude. Land of the free, land of the motherfucking worker bees is what we are. We work. Government takes more than half of our money. And you say, oh, well, they don't take half of mine. They only take half of the rich people's money. Oh, really? What do you pay when you buy shit? What do you pay when you own shit? What do you pay on your personal property? What do you pay when you put gas in your car? Okay? And if you add all those things up that you pay, they're taking 50% of your money too. And they're telling you to work. The American dream, the American dream, the American dream. And then we'll take half your shit and we send it to other countries. We are the world's ATM. The people of America are the world's ATM. It needs to end. People need to say no more. They need to get smart about taxes. Do you ever question why you weren't taught personal finance, balancing your checkbook, or taxes when you were in high school? Why isn't that part of the public education? Why are they teaching instead gender ideology and all this fucking bullshit? Because they want you to be financially ignorant so that you will go through your life not realizing how much they're actually oppressing you and how much they're actually stealing from you. And then they're going to tell you this is freedom. No, the fuck it isn't. It's not even close. So that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of us being financially oppressed by our own government in the name of being quote unquote good people to all these other people that want to kill us. I'm being told it's virtuous.
But don't worry, AI Jesus is on the way.
Virgin Mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a
Check this one out. I don't know if y'all seen this one. Let me. It won't. Okay, hold on 1 second. Reload.
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother.
Hmm.
What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my
Like,
God.
artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of
If you
Jesus.
combine
Right.
Tesla's Optimus robot and the best foundational artificial intelligence model or whatever.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you. And it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer?
There you go.
Well, couldn't you say that our people already very much pray at the altar of Siri or Alexa or Grok or whatever it may be, and the fruits of that labor come in an Amazon truck. Your prayers are answered when you tithe into the system with your payments. I mean, that's that. There's an analogy that can be built pretty strongly end to end around that argument. That's a good pull. I hadn't seen that.
Oh, you haven't? That's the Peter Thiel technocracy. That's what's gonna. If you can't find the Christ within, they're gonna have one for you on the outside, waiting. And they're pushing the AI Jesus. They're pushing the Bible's really being apps being downloaded. People not reading the user agreements. TC terms and conditions. They click yes, and then they get access to everything. But they were celebrating 1 billion Bibles apps downloaded worldwide, and they're saying the word is going to go forth, but it's going to be in the digital. It's everything, right?
So I was researching
Bible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The digital ID. Once we get all digital, it's one of my favorite things to do is find documents that are 500 years old, at least, and 400, 600, whatever I can get. Well, that's Akashic intelligence. You're right there, Bird. So it's all about our consent and the intention and the loose steel. That's the larger issue here. Yeah, that's a great pull right there. The poison fruit. So the issue with everything going digital is that the hallucinating AI can change the text on the fly. So I was researching something the other day, and I was trying to find a specific reference in a specific 66-book canon translation, and AI would not quote scripture. It wouldn't give me a single definitive reference, like the 23rd Psalm or whatever. It wouldn't come back and give me any scripture. I had to go ask it a very specific question before it would come back and actually give me a reference to the canon. So one of the big challenges with AI and hallucinating AIs is that it comes back and it makes stuff up, and people say, "Oh, well, I read it on my screen. It must be true." No, it's not. It could be a hallucination.
New Yorkers are getting $12,000 in crypto in a Coinbase funded basic income style pilot program. Everyone needs to get their heads out of the sand. Since 2021, we've been saying this was coming. This has Agenda 2030 all over it. America's second largest county approves $500 monthly to residents in 2026. City of Boulder releases evaluation report for guaranteed income pilot project. 20 Howard County families will receive guaranteed basic income for 1 year with no strings attached. Lawmakers float a nationwide basic income experiment that would cover the cost of a 2-bedroom apartment. Not only that, but we're seeing the digital IDs take root in U.S. as states and federal agencies chart uncertain paths. Not only that, but Trump just came out with the Genesis mission, which will combine everything from AI to satellites. We have been talking about this patent forever. 060606, a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. You will wear a device that senses your body activity, and if you do what they tell you to do, you get paid in cryptocurrency. Trump is literally making the system right now. They're piloting basic income programs that are with cryptocurrency. This will all be connected with what? Your digital ID. They will be able to monitor everything you do in this system. They knew that Biden nor Harris would be able to implement this system, but they did know that Trump would be able to. So that is exactly what Trump is doing, because he's no different than anybody else. Take a look around. He's literally having dinners with Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. He is not taking down the deep state. He is a part of it. And y'all are going to line up like sheep in the slaughterhouse if y'all don't wake up. The Bible spoke of a system just like this. And God's prophecies always come true. So this will be implemented. We are too close to Jesus coming back for y'all to be putting your head in the sand at this moment. If you do not know Jesus, this is the perfect time to come to him. He is waiting and he loves you so much. The Bible says that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe that he died and rose again for the remission of your sins, you will be saved. Don't wait until it's too late. And if you are a Christian and you fell for this, thinking that somebody on the earth was going to save you, come back to your first love. He's waiting with open arms.
There we go. All right. So we did the AI Jesus. Yeah. Here we go. Here is. Oh, let me go to the bottom.
Show in the sky. He discovered that NASA and a few intelligence agencies developed the technology to project 3D holographic images into the sky. I say into because the system uses a combination of satellites and ground-based systems to manipulate the ionosphere. You don't need a screen. Images can be projected onto the particles in the atmosphere. The projections will appear so lifelike that people will believe they are witnessing a miracle. The dominant god of each region will appear in the sky. Imagine looking up and seeing Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, all speaking to their followers in their own language. Their God will tell them their beliefs are all wrong, then will slowly morph into a new God. This is the first appearance of the new Messiah, God of the New World Order.
The projections of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Krishna will merge into one, and explanations of mysteries and revelations will be disclosed. This one God will, in fact, be the Antichrist, who will explain that the various scriptures have been misunderstood and misinterpreted, and that the religions of old are responsible for turning brother against brother and nation against nation. Therefore, old religions must be abolished to make way for the new age, new world religion, representing the one God Antichrist they see before them.
Debunking old religions will be enough to convert some people to this new one. Giant deities appearing and then converging into one Antichrist will convert a lot more. But these technologies won't work on everybody. Non-religious people will be terrified for sure, but they won't suddenly believe in a God based on a hologram, no matter how real it looks. The Shadow Masters know that. The Shadow Masters know that to create a one-world government and single religion, they need 100% of the population to believe. But you can't force a religious belief on somebody. They need to make the decision themselves, or at least be convinced they made it. The elites know this. That brings us to step 3. If you're not convinced by what you see, they'll use technology to broadcast the message directly into your brain. You may not realize it, but this technology is being used on you right now. When the new God appears in step 2, you'll hear him speaking whether you believe in him or not. And you won't be able to escape his voice because you're not hearing it through your ears. His voice is coming from your mind. The third step of Project Bluebeam is mind control. They'll use electromagnetic waves to interfere with brain function. They can shape perceptions, create emotions, and influence beliefs.
The third step in the Bluebeam project uses electronically augmented two-way communication, where ELF, VLF, and LF waves will reach each person from within his or her own mind, convincing each of them that their own God is speaking to them from the very depths of their own soul. Such rays from satellites are fed from the memories of computers that have stored massive data about every human on Earth and their languages. The rays will then interlace with their natural thinking to form what we call diffuse artificial thought. That kind of technology goes into the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s research, where the human brain has been compared to a computer. Information is fed in, processed, integrated, and then a response is formulated and acted upon.
We know for a fact that the US military and intelligence have experimented with mind control. We know they used sound waves in the Vietnam War to make the enemy anxious without knowing why. The CIA used these and all kinds of other methods to scramble people's brains and program them to be sleeper agents.
Link down in the breadbasket, Chief.
The government uses EM waves for all kinds of dark purposes. They've patented a device that can trigger emotions in a target from a half-mile away. But what's really scary about the patent is that it claims it can piggyback its signal onto any frequency. That would mean we can never escape it. Everything that uses electricity has an electromagnetic field. Think you're safe living off the grid? Nope. Radio signals can bounce off the ionosphere and reach anywhere in the world. The fourth and final stage of Project Bluebeam is the most sinister. Serge Manasse predicts a universal supernatural manifestation with electronic means. In other words, an alien invasion. The elites will promise to unite and defend the world against our common enemy. But to do that, they'll need emergency power. But it's only temporary, so we won't resist authority. We'll beg for it.
So if you've listened to any of Sabrina Wallace's content, she talks about something called the Body Area Network. And that's the Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things, we are the things in the Internet of Things. So if you're subjecting yourself to wireless earbuds or continuously putting your phone up next to your head to have a conversation, then you are helping to tune your pineal to the chosen frequency. You're tuning yourself into the slot where you can be susceptible to this. I agree with most of what the Y-Files guy is saying there, but the way that we subject ourselves through consent in the implementation of the technology around us has a lot to do with our susceptibility to this hoax if and when it happens. I think I've been told that the Bluebeam components have been dismantled and they can't pull it off. That's part of why the stopping the chemtrails has been important. Yeah, that's correct, Ellis. I heard that it was stopped and that the infrastructure was dismantled by the quote unquote good guys. You're muted, Chief.
All right. Are there what? Was it the question is there an ice wall? Somebody was saying.
Are there televisions on the other side of the ice wall?
I would assume there are, and there's a million channels of us, just like the Truman Show. That's what I would guess.
Don, that's wild. Right to the camera.
So I've got something here that I can read, but can get my computer to catch up with me. Hold on, I need to find it. It was supposed to be an update from Ben Fulford that talks about all of the things that have supposedly happened in the larger galactic war. Okay, my Page. Here we go. This is a little small, but I'll come on, computer. You can do it.
I like listening to Ben Fulford. I don't know what's true, but it sure is good to listen to him. I like it.
Well, he has been really silent. He's been like a week back, and so this is from yesterday. Benjamin Fulford situation update, December 3rd, 2025. Apocalyptic countdown. T-minus 23 hours and 11 minutes. Clock just hit single digits, and the Khazarian Mafia has gone completely berserk. In the last 24 hours, the combined Earth Alliance Galactic Federation Strike Force executed the single largest simultaneous operation in recorded history. 47 domes across the Eurasian landmass were collapsed in a perfect synchronously at 4:44 UTC using the restored Tartarian resonance. The shockwave was felt as far away as Reykjavik and Jakarta. Entire mountain ranges in the Pamir, Tian Shan, and Carpathians dropped 40 to 60 meters overnight. Official seismographs are being memory holed in real time. The Black Sun's cult supreme commander, the Vril-possessed Reinhardt 9 entity that is 1947, was extracted alive and screaming in high Enochian. He is now in a Pleiadian containment orb, begging to testify against the remaining 13 bloodline families. His confession is already being broadcast on secure QFS channels to every awakened military unit on Earth. At 555 UTC, the Master Stargate portal beneath Lake Baikal, one of the Khazarian Mafia planned to use for their fake rapture staging, was sealed forever by 144 directly from the Great Central Sun. The resulting light column was visible from orbit for 11 minutes. Roscosmos and SpaceX feeds both went dark the instant it ignited. The Avatar replacement program is in total collapse. Every remaining active clone on the surface, Schwab 7, 11, Soros 22, and the entire EU Commission, they began hemorrhaging black goo from their eyes and ears simultaneously at 6:06 UTC. Live news anchors are openly vomiting on air. The pineal calcification weaponization grid is now at 0.3%. Functionality in falling exponentially. Quantum Financial System Master Controller Young confirmed the Rainbow Currency ISO 20022's global switch flipped at 100% at 6:66 UTC. Old Swift is now a dead corpse. The GCR RV shotgun start has turned into a planetary fire hose. Trillion Antarctic breakaway Reich just lost contact with all surface assets. New Schwabenland 2.0's fusion core is in an uncontrollable meltdown after the Andromeda Council severed its dark energy umbilical. Multiple sources say the ice shelf above it is cracking in perfect 666-kilometer ring. The 13 bloodline families' final liquidation protocol has entered its execution phase. Arrest teams are moving in Geneva, Brussels, Rome, and London right now. Nassara Jassara military trigger sequence. Medbed distribution centers and 144 systems cities are powering up as I transmit this. The satanic house of cards is collapsing in real time.
What's that guy on?
Oh, Ben Fulford?
Yeah.
He's on a bunch of platforms. Oh, you mean the drug? Which drug
Yeah.
is he on? I don't know. Oh, but I wish you would share some. I think he's got like a railroad tie of opium on his desk, and he just keeps snorting it. I'm sure.
That's another two
as
seasons on
Dan Miller would
Netflix.
say. Well, I mean, there's just so much. Look, is there an intergalactic core that's watching us all and, all that good stuff. I don't know. I mean, it seems like we're being observed all over the place, if you want to believe that narrative. And it starts with our government and Palantir and Peter Thiel and all the digital infrastructure that was okayed in the big, beautiful bill. Hey, this is right in front of us. It's happening.
Yep.
25 and insurance just keeps getting worse. I just did 2 bilateral deeps and 2 bilateral tissue expanders for patients. And I've never had this happen before, but during the second deep, I got a phone call into the operating room saying that United Healthcare wanted me to call them about one of the patients who was having surgery today, who was actually asleep having surgery. And, said I had to call right now. So I scrubbed out of my case and I called United Healthcare, and the gentleman said he needed some information about her, want to know her diagnosis and whether her inpatient stay should be justified. And I was like, to understand this, she's asleep right now and she has breast cancer. And the gentleman said, actually, I don't. That's a different department that would know that information. And I was like, well, she does need to stay overnight tonight. And you have all the information with you because I got approval for this surgery. And I need to go back and be with my patient now. But yeah, it's out of control. Insurance is out of control. I have no other words.
Right. Okay. This is they pulled me out of surgery while my patient was unconscious because United Healthcare needed approval, quote unquote. That's what she's talking about. As far as the insurance thing is concerned, they already approved it. Of course, she's going to need a night in after surgery. But this is what she was talking about. The lady had breast cancer. Here's an old clip right here about the cell phones. If you're on your cell phone, try not to have it plugged in while you're on it. Right? He's going to do a little test right here with the iPhone.
And here I got an EMF detector and an iPhone 16s. Right. And what you're going to watch is going to shock you. So right now, I put it up to my cell phone and you can see maybe there's 2 or 3, but watch this. If I pull it away and I get it up off my countertop so it's not by it's 0. You guys see that? All along my cell phone. Okay, there's 2, 4. But for the most part, it's 0. Okay? Now watch what happens when I plug this thing in. I don't want to show you guys so you guys don't think I'm fibbing you. So I come over here. We're going to plug this thing in. Okay, we're charging. What in the hell is that, folks? I don't know. I assume the red, when it gets into the extreme, is really, really dangerous and really bad for you. 504, 530 something. That's crazy. And look at how far away. So that's how far you got to get away from your phone before it gets in the safe zone. So if you were anywhere within 6 or 7 inches of your phone, the closer you get, you hold it in your hand while it's charging, I would assume you're literally nuking your hand. You guys tell me what you think. Oh, now let's try it with the other iPhone. Okay. Okay, so that was with the iPhone 16s. In my hand, I'm filming with the iPhone, I think 13 or 12. All right, so now we're about to try the iPhone. All right, so let's do the iPhone now. We're done airdropping. So we got the standard iPhone. I got to get up away from stuff. So yeah, if you see back here, it's a 0. So I move it all along here. It's a 1, 0. Okay. Now let's plug it in. And see what we're getting. Wow, 518. Are you seeing that? What the hell is going on here? Oh yeah, there it is again. 528 was the peak. What are they doing to us, folks? What the hell is going on? What do you guys think this means? Is this bad? If you're driving with your cell phone charging on your balls, are you literally nuking your Johnson? Shit.
The answer to that is yes.
Don't put your phone in your lap and charge it.
So back in the beginning of the cell phone industry, I was a Cellular One dealer, and they had bag phones, and they had the original Motorola 750 and the Ultra Classic, one of the greatest phones ever made. I used to love selling that product. And there was legislation that came down that said that the absolute maximum output from a phone that you could put next to your head was 0.6 of a watt. And there were 3-watt bag phones. And Nokia made the best one at the time, actually, not Motorola. And the 3-watt bag phones, they had a big thing on them when you bought them. It said don't put this thing in your lap and talk on the phone, because the radiation is bad. So of course, the FDA and the Federal Exchange Commission, or the FCC, Communications Commission, came out and decided that 0.6 of a watt was the most broadcasting power that could be had in a device that you would put respectively next to your head. Well, that this has been a workaround within the cell phone industry, that when you plug it in, it has a different classification. It goes under the old bag phone classification when it's plugged in, because it has a higher power source, and therefore it can output more energy. So that EMF protection is one of the most important things that you can do. And wearing wireless earbuds, one on each side of your head, the frequency that those use to communicate is exactly the same frequency your microwave oven uses, 2.4 gigahertz. So this is something that you can do to help your body. Future you will thank you if you start using more diligent safety modes using your phone. And, if you're a woman, don't put it up in your bra. They've got, we can see where breast cancer comes in, and it's the same square that is your phone as it sits in your bra. And if you drive down the road with your phone plugged in, sitting in your lap, yes, you are your junk is getting fried, to be specific. So and a lot of people think, oh, that's not true. How could they produce something like that would be okay? Well, shocker, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, Gandalf, I remember you, excuse me. I remember you saying that last year. You're saying don't wear earbuds, period. And especially when it's plugged in, I remember that when you were on Mike's show saying that. Back in the day, I used to put my cell phone when I was driving on my lap because I wanted to make me sterile. And I think it worked.
Well, see, again, I use reverse psychology on my body with that. Because, I wear my earbuds all the time since I'm on the phone all the time. And I'm just using that time to condition my body against it.
So that's the what does not kill you makes you stronger logic.
That's it.
Go ahead, run with that, big dog. Go ahead and run with that.
Well, Dr. Young said I was a train wreck, so I'm just trying to prove him right.
That we have is caused by just two things. A combination of a parasite and a pollutant. No matter what the disease is, it's a parasite and a pollutant, just at a different place. So whether it's cancer or diabetes or migraines or whatever it is, look for the major parasite and the major pollutant, and that's what is actually the dominant cause of that disease. So going back to cancer, the parasite there is a human intestinal fluke, and the pollutant is isopropyl alcohol. That creates the malignant aspect of a cancer.
If you guys are interested in reading her book, I posted it on our chat room this morning. I post about 5 to 10 books a week. To find our chat, just click my website, scroll right to the bottom, and click go to the chat. So this is her other book, Prevention of Cancer. I also added this as well.
Every disease that we have is caused by just two things.
If the COVID shot is question, if the COVID shot is free because it's life-saving, why in the hell isn't the insulin, chemotherapy, and the EpiPen free? Question, if the COVID shot is free because it's life-saving,
That's a really good question.
So there's some stuff that happened in the 60s and 70s that changed the way that medicine functions in our nation. And this involves the American Medical Association and CPT coding. So the CPT coding is like, if I take my car in the garage, they look in that mechanic's handbook and it says, well, you've got a 1984 Ford Bronco, and to do transmission replacement on that takes X number of hours. And if you're a certified mechanic, then you should have the ability to get that task done in a number of hours that are stated in the manual or the book. Well, CPT coding is exactly the same thing, but for the medical industry. So when I walk into a doctor's office, there's something called the initial engagement. That's a CPT code. When I get into the exam room, that's a private meeting. That's another CPT code. When the nurse walks in and takes vitals, there's another code there. So what this does is breaks down every single component of every single transaction that you have with your physician, so that the insurance company can concatenate that into a super bill, and then it can be billed into the medical business. Well, this all happened between 66 and 73. That CPT coding really became ingrained in the way that our medical system was billed, and this is when the really rich doctors started happening. From during the 30s and 40s, physicians were just like anybody else. They didn't have a McMansion. They didn't make $1 million a year. I know a lot of high-end surgeons that make $1 million a year. And that's because the insurance companies have built a pyramid around the billing systems and inflated all of the costs. If you can go spend, if you have to go in and get, like if you have a heart attack, you can spend $20,000, $25,000 or $30,000 a day just in a room with a bunch of equipment. It's not made of gold. The doctor has no idea what's actually happening. He's just following the coding pieces saying, well, this is what worked before. Modern medicine is about body modification, not about parasite cleansing. And all disease, as you heard from that doctor, from that old clip, disease is parasitic. And we get caught in this continuing cycle of, well, I don't feel well, I got to go to the doctor. Well, the doctor's going to give you more meds. The number of people that are on 5 or more medications a day are contraindicating between all of those medications. It's almost impossible to predict what's going to happen. So the parasitic cleanse engagements that we talk about all over the place, taking used teas, tinctures, and oils, as opposed to, pills and radiation, is a way out of this process. But you have to believe that it's going to work. People say, oh, well, I tried that for a day and I didn't feel any better. Okay, if you're 50 years old and you've been eating crap food your entire life and living on 5 or 6 medications a week, sometimes 2 or 3 a day or 5 a day, then it's going to take more than 1 day or 1 week or 1 month for you to start getting yourself out of that parasitic engagement that is your lifestyle choices that have gotten you to this point. So the intermittent fasting, all the things that your doctor is going to say, well, I can't talk to you about that because he is putting his license in jeopardy. So trusting your physician is one thing, but understanding the parameters that they work within is another. Dr. Robert Young is an example of this. He preached for many years about a cure for many different diseases using a high pH diet, and he is in jail now. He's serving his sentence because they took away his license in every state that he was licensed in, and then they just waited for him to say something that sounded like he was giving medical advice, and that's when the lawsuit started, and when the criminal indictments came through. So the anti-parasitic is the way to go, but you really need to stop. This is a perfect segue here, sheepdog. You need to stop believing the hype and stop going to your doctor for a wellness check so that they can say, oh, well, how much insurance money do you have left? And we're going to go spend all of it. The average expenditure over your total lifetime of all your medical dollars that get spent, as much as 50% of all that money, your whole lifetime, can be spent in the last 14 days of your life, because they're going to just build the system. It's generational wealth management. Medical debt is one of the things you cannot bankruptcy chapter your way out of. Medical debt and school loans, predatory lending practices.
Yeah. Also, I hear what you're saying, Gandalf, about the parasite thing, but also seed oils, it could take up to 2 years for that to get out of your system. So when you're trying to heal yourself, I'm on 2.5 years of healing and it's kind of working, but yeah, it could take up to a couple of years sometimes.
Here's what scientists have found. Over 20 years, the percentage of seniors getting flu shots increased sharply from 15% to 65%. It stands to reason that flu deaths among the elderly should have taken a dramatic dip, making an X graph like this. Instead, flu deaths among the elderly continue to climb. It was hard to believe, so researchers at the National Institutes of Health set out to do a study adjusting for all kinds of factors that could be masking the true benefits of the shots. But no matter how they crunched the numbers, they got the same disappointing result. Flu shots had not reduced deaths among the elderly. It's not what health officials hoped to find. NIH wouldn't let us interview the study's lead author, so we went to Boston and found the only co-author not employed by NIH, Dr. Tom Reichert.
We realized that we had incendiary material.
Dr. Reichert says they thought their study would prove vaccinations had helped.
We were trying to do something mainstream, that's for sure.
Were you surprised?
Astonished.
Did you check the data a couple of times to make sure?
Well, even more than that, we've looked at other countries now, and the same is true.
That study, soon to be published, finds the same poor results in Australia, France, Canada, and the UK. And other new research stokes the idea that decades of promoting flu shots in seniors and the billions spent haven't had the desired result. The current head of national immunizations confirms CDC is now looking at new strategies, but stops short of calling the present policy a failure.
There's an active dialogue into how we can do better to prevent influenza and its complications in the elderly.
So what's an older person to do? The CDC says they should still get their flu shots, but it could make flu less severe or prevent other problems not reflected in the total numbers. But watch for CDC to likely shift in the near future more toward protecting the elderly in a roundabout way by vaccinating more children and others around them who could give them the flu. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.
All right, there we go. So, hold on, I'm kind of freezing up here. So the real healing centers, what isn't the hospitals, right? What is So let's put it like this: the world wars, World War I and II, and wars prior, they've been created to destroy the old Tartarian infrastructure and to usher us in the slave-like industrial revolutions that precede them. Did you know that there is no money in free energy? We are all led to believe that burning black rocks and black goo that is poisonous to our bodies is absolutely the best way to create energy. But in reality, our Earth provides us with enough energy for all of humanity without burning poison and releasing it into our air so that we can inhale our wonderful concoction of indoctrination. The lunatics who run this world want you to think that cultures from the past were primitive and uneducated, which is simply not true. All right. I want to play this.
Man, talk about destroying a perfectly good Earth plane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, where would we be today if that continued, man? This would be just so amazing.
Be flying high.
Well, the destruction of infrastructure, the Civil War, you know, that we were part of Tartaria here. And so that the great rabbit hole to go down and adjacent to this is the bells. So if you look like at the Liberty Bell, they're always cracked. So they don't give a true tone. All the bells that used to be in the bell towers and the buildings and the organs, the pipe organs, they were a combination of with the buildings themselves. There you go. They were a combination of a healing environment and a tuning of society. They also, the reptilians, if you want to go down that road, cannot use their fakery to obfuscate this realm in the frequency that is spread by the bells. Yeah, play that one right there. This is perfect.
To the bell, the more frequency and that's why they removed all of the bells, because if anybody ever got sick, they would sit them inside a bell. And when they would then ring that bell, the frequency and vibration would then heal that person inside it. Just like linen sheets and copper bottles, everything is linked to frequency. And that's why the hospitals had the larger bells on, because patients needed to be healed through the frequency. And the larger the bell, the more frequency and vibration emitted. And that's exactly why all of the larger bells have cracks in, because then the bell's resonation is negatively affected and the frequency becomes negative. And so if you then think of the large bells we had, if they were to then hit that bell and resonate it over a town, everybody would instantaneously heal, because we know that sound frequency heals. And if you think the human body is made up of 70% water, any vibrations and sound frequency will then restructure all of your cells and heal you. And what's interesting is a lot of these bells were also made with copper, which is also interesting because that would then amplify that frequency further. But then the elites, like the Rockefellers, figured this out and then removed it, because if everyone has a high frequency, nobody will then be sick and therefore dependent on their system, which will then not bring them any profit whatsoever. So standing by bells is very powerful.
In the previous video, they showed a bunch of arcs, like the Arc de Triomphe that's right up by the Eiffel Tower. Those are all Tartarian technology from the previous age, which has been erased and hidden from us. Those big arcs are like a magnet. They're one side is positively charged, the other side is negatively charged. The buildings, the old buildings that all had to be destroyed, the red bricks, that reddish tinged brick they were a conductor. So that your house was the battery, the bell frequency was your hospital, the energy was free, and all of the communications technology was wired. So it's exactly the opposite of what we have now. Our power is wired and our information is wireless. And it's in a dystopian non-healing frequency engagement. You know, the real flu engagement is just turning up all the 5G. No one's phone got any faster with 5G. It's all about changing the way that we engage in our realm with the frequencies that we are just bathed in.
Man, you mind if I share a bell story real quick? Okay, so the city I grew up in, okay, there was a certain area of this city, and there was about 4, blocks of homes. And those people, they were in our high school, about 400 of us who were real close. And they used to see like demons in their homes and stuff, only on these 4 blocks. And the only place that has bells is in that little area at a Catholic church. They keep ringing the bell there. So I wonder what's going on, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean? Like that little city, those people were really different over there. But yeah, they keep that bell going on over there. I wonder if it wards off any evil stuff. Who knows? That's my little bell story.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty good story, though.
Yeah, those people were trippy, man. I know something was going on over there because all those people acted really weird.
So I've been to some drum circles in my existence, and I have seen people come to these things just, barely able to walk. And they go through a drum circle experience and they are immediately revitalized, or they run from the experience because their body is so out of frequency engagement. Their chakra chain is so out of tune, the disharmony, it just freaks them out. So, and I have had people that run the circles say, well, that person is possessed. And these are not Christian believing type of people. They are creator believing more so. And there are those that can say, oh, I can see it. I can see it in that person. And if you are waking up in this process and becoming more engaged, being more in the physical realm than in the digital realm, then sometimes you just walk up to someone and you get a bad feeling. And that's the disharmony or the bad frequency engagement or the harmful frequency engagement. So I believe that story, Cheating. And I bet you that those bells were ancient bells and the frequency, the evil frequency cannot coexist in that harmonious frequency. It's all cymatics. Masaru Emoto does great work on this with the power of text on water and the ability to change that water. That's why they put logos on your shirts.
Just got some news of the day. See, I own this house, and I also own another house about 24 miles away in the country. It's a 7-acre ranch house, full solar, have my own well, propane tank, almost off the grid. But now California is talking about installing meters on my property in the country. So I will have to pay for my water that's on my property, that I have a well that I had put down to pump my water to me. And they want to start putting meters. Now, this house is metered. I have to pay $149 for water and trash. And if I go over, my water bill goes high, my allotment. My country house, that's my water. That's not the county's water. It's not even under their pipes. It's county. They want to start putting a meter on there. The fuck?
Got to put a meter on it, baby. If it ain't got a meter on it, it will have one.
Gotta love California.
So we just got an assessment here in northern Colorado. They're doing work on, we have legacy water rights for this land, and it's in shares. And the shares line up with the number of acres that we have. They're changing the way you have to hold so many acres in order to hold so many shares. And we just got assessed with a $12,000 repair engagement for the primary set of canals that feed our water system. They turn it off a portion of the year. Once it starts freezing, everything gets drained out. We've got to blow the pipes out, etc. And this is privately managed piping infrastructure that the people who own the shares, we're supposed to cover all of our own infrastructure costs. So we have an assessment to fix the 100-year-old canal infrastructure, and part of that is some proposed metering so that they can start doing the same thing. These are water rights. We have water that runs through our land. It's been tied to this land since this land was deeded to the family, however many, over 100 years ago. So this is happening. You got to control the resources, especially in the farming universe. If you don't have water, you can't run. I mean, this is happening nationally, not just in captured California, but also in captured Colorado.
Wonder what the HOA says about it.
Amazon Ring security cameras are now using facial recognition. They are calling it familiar faces. Whenever a person buys a cloud-based Amazon product, they are automatically brought into the Amazon Sidewalk network, which includes geospatial data that can track objects in the neighborhood without the need for its own network or GPS module. Amazon Ring security cameras have made a deal with Flock Safety, which will allow the police to more easily gain access to your home security cameras and your neighborhood Amazon Sidewalk network. Flock Safety's founder and CEO, Garrett Langley, whose name just coincidentally translates to Watchtower of the CIA, wants to rid the world of crime.
Crime. It's a complex problem that requires so many people to work together to solve it. And at Flock, it's our mission to eliminate it.
Flock was founded by Langley in 2017 and set their cameras up in a few test cities before the 2020 lockdown, during which setting up Flock cameras all over the nation was considered essential. By 2024, Flock's cameras have been installed across 42 states in over 4,000 cities. At least a third of their initial funding came from Palantir's co-founder, Peter Thiel's Thiel Capital. Peter Thiel is also co-founder of Founders Fund, who also invested in Flock Safety. Initialized Capital, another investor, was founded by former Palantir employee Gary Tan. Flock Safety, Amazon Ring, and Palantir all working together to build the surveillance system that nobody asked for. Flock Safety cameras are being used by federal authorities, such as ICE. When this was discovered, the city of Evanston, Illinois, deactivated and terminated their contract. But Flock Safety then reinstalled the cameras on their own dime, and the city is now finding it difficult to get rid of them. Starting in October of 2024, dflock.me provides a public map of automated license plate reader cameras, which are primarily made by Flock Safety. The project is open source and data is voluntarily submitted by the public. DFlock's goal is to promote transparency and provide knowledge about the surveillance infrastructure being quietly built around us. But Watchtower of the CIA, Garrett Langley, says that DFlock is a terrorist organization.
Unfortunately, there's terroristic organizations like DFlock, whose primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else.
Ben Jordan on YouTube has demonstrated how easily these Flock cameras are to hack into. There is practically no security, and they were able to connect to these cameras within seconds by simply pressing a button on the back in a specific sequence. They were able to take full control of these cameras.
First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and press the button to turn on that police camera. Then press the button on the back a number of times I can't disclose in this video. There she is, the Flock wireless access point. Go on and connect. Send a command to enable ADB, connect, and now you can connect to the Flock safety device and access its data. Or install whatever the hell you want on it.
The longest part actually is waiting for the hotspot to turn on, but realistically in about 5 seconds. And in fact, with the compute box, you don't need to hit the buttons because the USB-C ports are exposed. So you can just plug in a rubber ducky and then walk away.
A rubber ducky, sometimes referred to as a bad USB, is a USB drive that a computer or device detects as a USB keyboard and then executes scripts called payloads. One can make a device like this for as little as $5. This quite literally raises the limit of how one could use Flock safety devices to their imagination. You can clone or decompile the apps. You could send the video stream data to a remote server. You could use it as a botnet client for malware. You could have it capture Wi-Fi handshake credentials and do middleman or honeypot attacks, or replace or modify captured footage or images.
Greg Reese reporting.
You know, those Amazon Ring doors cameras, or, you know, with the floodlights or the doorbell, they were setting out a notice to track your pet. So if you lost a pet, people can, you know, scan and see pets, but it's actually, as you all know, is facial recognition.
There was a story in Fort Collins today from last night. There was some guy who did something wrong, and the police were able to find him in 11 minutes using the Flock network. So and there's a bunch of private security camera infrastructure devices that people put in their business. So this is part of the digital surveillance network, and the amount of computing power that Palantir has, it moves very quickly. This is part of why we got away from digital ID.
Yeah, and they can't find any missing kids that quick, right?
Not unless you're willing to pay for the body parts.
That's a good point, though, GD. Hillary Clinton's back on the world stage again there, Gandalf. I know.
I need my airline flight bag to barf in if you're going to play that.
Hey, she's teaming up with Miriam Adelson, which is Trump's biggest donor, right? They love that other country, you know. When George Carlin say it's one big club and you ain't in it.
How bad is the food that we're giving out our pets?
Well, it depends on what you're feeding, but it's pretty bad. When I was a student, we went to Italy and we went to Assisi. It was fantastic. And we were looking at examining dogs there, and they were all healthy. And even the old dogs, nobody was fat. Nobody had bad teeth. Everybody was in great shape. And I said to them, because this is 30 years ago or more. And back then we already had fat. American dogs were fat with diabetes and hypothyroidism and bad teeth and all the things. And I said, what are you feeding them? And they said, well, whatever we eat, they eat. And I said, oh, that's a sin.
Hmm.
We're told that that's the worst thing you could do is feed your dog off the table, right?
Yes.
Scraps. Well, what were we doing for 10,000 years until the dog food industry evolved? They were eating scraps.
Well, I always say to people, what do you mean human food is bad for them? I mean, like, so dog food is good for them?
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's heated up to 5,000 degrees. So there's no nutritional value left. They have to add the nutrients back in. But remember, they put pretty pictures on the bags. It's not good cuts of meat that are in there. It's the crap at the slaughterhouse that we can't eat. So this is cows that have been treated with antibiotics or pentobarbital's in their food because they've been euthanized, or it's claws, udders, whatever. Yeah. And glyphosate's in the food. I mean, there's toxins in there.
Yeah, that's the dog food. That is the dog food.
So go to your thrift mart and get an old pressure cooker and a BDP big damn pot pressure cooker. I use lentils, rice, potatoes, cabbage, sweet potatoes, sort of whatever. I've got the bulk in my dry storage area, and I use a little bit of kibble as a baseline just because the shepherds eat so much. I don't want to make food every 3 days, but everybody eats, and I make the dog food. Like if it all went sideways, we could eat it. It's not horrible. You could probably use some more salt, but if you're feeding I agree with this woman completely. What did dogs eat before the dog food industry? At this the villainization of dogs eating people food, dogs can eat things that we can't eat. Their stomachs are much more resilient. Dogs can eat all sorts of stuff, including poop. So if you really want to know how healthy your animals are, look at the poop. Poop tells you what, garbage in, garbage out. So and this is an excellent point of keeping your household healthy. Yeah, and your pets are, your furry kids. So yeah, great poll.
Yeah. Did you see the Christmas thing at the Pentagon, that the Christmas lighting? Santa Claus showed up at the Pentagon. Did you see that with Pete Hegseth?
No, but did Hegseth shoot the star off the top and get views?
4, 3, 2, 1. All
Hold on. What do you think Santa's going to show up in? A sled with some reindeer, or what? What do you think?
Mercedes.
And a Mercedes? What do you think, Gandalf? What is Santa going to show up in?
Black Hawk helicopter.
Oh, I like your. That's good. That's pretty awesome. All right.
As we gather around the Christmas tree this holiday season, oh my goodness, what is that clinking sound? Oh, what's that on the building over on the left? Hopefully, it's not that 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. No, it's not that Grinchy character. It's Santa!
All right, I'm going to add some music to it. My own. I did a remix on it. All right, we'll play we'll do the Ice Ice Agent song in the background.
Yo, HQ, let's roll it. Ice, Ice Agent. Ice, Ice Agent. All right, stop, coordinate and listen. Agent's back with a brand new mission. Something moves in the night so slightly. Boots hit the ground daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I can't say. Flip on the light, and we're on our way to the extreme. We patrol like a commando, knock on the door, stepping through the shadow. Move, get clear of the hallway. Booms, we're scanning the files in the briefing rooms. Deadly when we run this melody. Anything less than you're out of integrity. Love it or leave it. You better comply. Better hit the mark or the stakes run high. Check out the plan while the squad revolves it. Ice, ice, agent. You is ice,
There he is.
agent.
Yo, in an armored truck.
Ice, ice, agent. You is ice, ice, agent. You is. Now that the op is jumping, with the comms lit up and the boots all thumping, quick to the point, no faking. Paperwork stacks and the plans we're making. Working the trail, gotta move and mingle. Eyes on the mark like a laser single. And a radio with a tight set tempo. We're on a roll, now it's time to go solo. Rolling in the matte black van. Vest on tight and the lead in hand. Civvies on standby, looking just to spy. Did you stop? No, we just rolled by. Kept on, headed to the next site. Busted a left and we're gone in the night. The street was dead, Joe. So we continued to Sector 7th Avenue. Target set, live, gear bags ready. Clues in the wind. Steady, locked in, cause we're out getting nails. Watching the block from the midnight hours. For the suspect down the hall.
Maybe have one guitar left.
Maybe.
Sea Cities in.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my Santa's Ice Ice Agent remix at the Pentagon. He showed up in an armored truck, not a sleigh with reindeer.
I think that 60 cal should have been throwing presents. That would have been a nice touch. AI, a siege device throwing large boxes at the crowd.
Santa shows up as a hologram. They're pretty good at that lately.
You know, heading into the holiday season, it's a great choice to not support the retail buying opportunity from big box stores. If you're going to do presents, make something for somebody, write a song, use a local business to buy some whatever. But you know, if you really want to believe that Christ's birthday is December 25th, it's not. It's September 11th. But then just stay out of the retail side. Don't let the machine overtake your spending practices and put you in debt for 3 months with credit card bills. Give a gift from the heart. Write someone a personalized letter. Make a gift. It's there's much better intention train in that than there is going out, pushing up your credit card debt and putting your family at risk for the first quarter.
Yeah, that's true. But don't you know they treat us like consumers, and then that ends up consuming us.
I mean, like if you're really going to go there, buy someone a huge thing of toilet paper, the 96 roll bundle. It makes for a huge box under the tree.
I made scarves one year. I started in June, and I just made scarves for everybody.
There you go. Yeah, you got a lot of handmade stuff. Sheepdog swap. But like Gandalf was saying right here, the billionaires aren't out buying future trash at the store, right? Which is what they have us buying. Look at everything we buy. It's in the trash with what, a few years, right? It's just future landfill, right? Which is this right here. Let me add this to screen real quick. Show you what I'm talking about here. Because you brought up a good point.
Item you see in a store will one day turn into garbage. And when you buy them, you are converting your hard-earned money into a future landfill junk. You do not go to work to convert your money into junk. You do not exist in society to convert your money into someone else's source of revenue. If you wouldn't put your money directly in a trash can and never see it again, you should not be buying any of this crap. Just because the weather is getting colder and the months end with BER does not mean that you need to be wasting your money on junk that no one needs. If you allow corporations to control the way you spend your money just because of the time of year we're in, you are going to be a financial loser for the rest of your life. And converting your money into future garbage is the surest sign that you want to stay broke forever. Consumers are losers and investors are winners. If you want to win in this society, you have to be an investor and stop being a consumer. The choice is yours and only yours. Choose wisely.
There you go.
It's all just, it's fake feelings. It's like it's just really fake feelings. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's all junk. Imagine if you spent $400 on a artificial Christmas tree 4 years ago, and you bought silver instead. You'd have tripled your money.
Hey Gandalf, I got that video you sent me of you and Mike.
No, it's not.
Christmas. Christmas, whoa, Christmas, whoa, Christmas, Christmas. I see the spirit of the season all over the place, and
All right, I'll save y'all from the rest of that. But I appreciate it.
They have no melanin. They can't dance or sing.
If I need rhythm, I have to get on a mule.
I bet you they can't jump either.
Hey,
Can I guess which one's Gandalf and which one's Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. Which one?
The one with the tennis shoes and the high tops.
This is before TikTok though. This is like the first TikTok.
Hot Tracks.
I
Hot
have those
Track.
shoes, by the way. I have those shoes.
So this is a VHS archaeology to find material to train AI. One comes across many things. Here's some Christmas joy. So this is the VHS. Anyways, thought that was funny.
Yeah, I've got plenty of melanin in my skin.
Durandal's the king of the line dancers, man.
We're not going to tell that story tonight, Gan.
We'll save
that's
that for the
another
Christmas
show.
special.
That's another show. We're gonna have to see the video. You got to
There is no evidence.
Oh shit! Then it's just a conspiracy theory. Then
That's right.
So when I was coaching basketball and my girls were young in their young teens, 10, 11, 12, we used to go out. I used to take the basketball team and we'd go to the old folks' homes in Orlando and we would go around and sing Christmas carols. And there was this one place we used to go, and I used to make the team do all sorts of stuff, Habitat for Humanity, and learn how to do outreach. And there was this. We went to this one place we used to go on the regular, and there was this one crotchety old lady there who just always used to give us grief. And we came in, and she had an air horn. And whenever she thought that we were out of tune, she would blast the air horn. It was very, very comical. The girls still tell the story about the air horn lady and the Christmas carols. We were bad. I mean, we were out of tune. We were out of sync. I hadn't spent long enough on the guitar to learn the songs the right way. So I guess we got gonged pretty heavily. But lady with the air horn, what a fantastic memory. Canceled.
that's all I got. Unless y'all got anything else.
I can't think of anything straight up right now. Anything else other than what we've already touched on?
No, I'm getting covered up by shepherds. I need to exit stage left here.
All right, guys.
I appreciate everybody. Hopefully we will convene again on Tuesday. And remember, I'm coming. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you for your time this evening. Sheepdog, you do such great research. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate the videos, the people that make sharing their gifts and their different perspectives. I like showing all, and especially going back to the older videos and seeing that it's been in our face the whole time. They just kind of withheld it, suppressed the truth and the lies became what went viral or go viral. But the dark cannot survive in the light. Everything that's happened in the dark will come to light. So I just tell everybody, have a great night, have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all in the chat in the morning for show. Everybody's welcome, and that's it.
Good night, everybody. Stay in the present.
Thank you, Cheating, for coming on with us.
Roger that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tonight, for their time and their treasures and their talents. Appreciate everybody.
And good night.
Jugga jugga. Steam rising. True train rolling through the fog. We don't beg for light, we bring it. Raise your vibe. Find your tribe. I got dust on my boots and gold in my soul. Been walking through shadows, still staying whole. My voice is velvet, my truth is flame. I don't play small, I don't play tame. We rise, we roll, we recalibrate. We don't wait for love, we activate. Raise your vibe, find your tribe. Let your roots run deep, let your spirit ride. True train rolling, we don't divide. We lift each other up, we don't backslide. Got my council on deck, got my elders in mind. We speak in rhythm, we move in time. From the swamp to the stars, we claim our name. We ain't just survivors, we run this game. Chugga chugga heartbeats, drumline soul. We carry the stories that never get told. Raise the banner, light the flame. True train tribe, we don't play the same. Raise your vibe, find your tribe. Let your name be known, let your soul revive. We here to heal, we here to thrive. True train tribe, we'll electrify. Raise your vibe.